want an exposure to a market or an
Everything they need in one place.
The world's foremost authority on individuals, advisors and institutions.
Hello and welcome to Morningstar TV. I'm Emma Wall, and here with me today to give his 3 stock tips is Charlie Thomas, manager of the Jupiter Ecology Fund. Hello, Charlie.
Hi.
So what's your first stock tip?
My first stock pick is actually an American company called Whole Food Markets. It's a leading organic and natural food supermarket chain, primarily based in the US, or actually in North America, with some supermarkets here in the UK and indeed in London. I think what's very interesting from us from an investment perspective is this is a company which is really tapping into a secular growth story, which is the consumer is becoming much more aware about the type of food, the quality of food, and that is resulting in very, very strong growth trends. Indeed, if you look in the US, we're seeing about 10% growth rates in the natural and organic growth sector, which is very much driving the potential for the company.
Organic and free range, no longer just for the elite, it's now for the mass, isn't it?
It is increasingly. Yes, there is in certain areas a premium, but increasing that premium is decreasing, and that's allowing greater penetration. But we've got to remember the penetration rates, as it were, of organic and natural food actually are very low in the US. Today, they only stand around about 4.5% to 5% of the whole food market. So there's a huge amount of the market to go for.
Is this stuff not expensive, though?
It is more expensive, but increasing what we're finding and what we hear from surveys is that consumer is actually prepared to pay an increasing premium for quality. And that's a very interesting secular growth story, which I think is going to stay.
And your second stock?
My second stock pick is a company called Eurofins Scientific, a French company which is a world leader in testing. So testing water, testing environmental issues, testing food, and testing pharmaceuticals. It's a very interesting area where we're seeing a lot of growth at the moment as we see scandals like Horsegate really push the demand for increasing testing to ensure that people are consuming what they think they are. This is a company which is probably growing at around about 30% a year. And we think it's a real great opportunity as the world of testing expands globally and into new areas.
And what are the risks with this stock?
I think one of the risks that we have with the company is perhaps its rating. It is on a high rating, but then it has a very strong growth rate. But that is something we've got to recognise. Also, this is a company which is developed through acquisition, and acquisitions carry risk. We must understand that. What we're not worried by is the underlying growth rate. We think that the world is going to test more, and particularly in the areas where this company is positioned.
And what's your third stock?
My third stock is a very, very long-standing company we've had in the portfolio, actually close to probably 20 years. It's a UK company called RPS. It's an environmental consultant, and it's a real leading company in terms of providing companies and governments advice on energy, on water, and indeed on development. It's a mid-cap company here in the UK, strong balance sheet, very, very long-standing management, which we like from an investment perspective, and is also driven by acquisitions as it expands globally into new markets, particularly in North America and increasingly in South America.
So it's not dependent then on domestic GDP?
It is not dependent on domestic GDP. It's dependent on issues like energy and water, which we think there's a very strong secular growth story, which are probably going to grow quicker than underlying GDP, and that's why we continue to hold it.
Charlie, thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is Emma Wall for Morningstar TV. Thank you for watching.